So good morning everyone who've I think just joined us on the live stream. Welcome to Tollcross International Swimming Centre. This is the first weekend of West District long course. We get underway in a few moments, so just go through the usual health and safety requirements. In the event of an emergency, a siren will sound. Staff will direct you to the nearest exits. Just check where the exits are. Keep these clear at all times. Also make sure that all the stairways are clear and do not sit on the stairs. No glass items or outdoor footwear poolside, and swimmers leaving poolside, please dry off as best you can and wear the appropriate clothing and footwear. No mobile phones should be used in the toilets, showers or changing areas. And spectators and everyone attending this event, you accept that any photographs or videos you may take will not be used for illicit purposes, and that pictures, films produced will not be altered in any way or uploaded onto the web without the consent and writing of the persons photographed or filmed. And spectators who wish to take photographs are requested to focus on their own family member as much as reasonably possible, and to avoid including other participants in photos, particularly if they are being shared with family, friends or through social media platforms. Thank you everyone. So introduce our senior officials for this morning. Our two referees, Jen Neal and Ross Stewart, and our starter is Katrina Neal. So it's 11 to 14-year-olds, age as of the 31st of December, that are taking part today. We get underway in a moment with the 1500 free mixed event, and there are 3 heats. So those of you on the live stream, you'll see at one end of the pool, some of the officials will have the necessary lap cards which will indicate how many lengths each swimmer still has to go. And towards the end, with the last 100 metres, our officials will ring the bell, and that will give the swimmers encouragement that they're just about done and dusted. So in about a minute's time we'll get underway. I think our officials are just getting ready. Swimmers, just remind you, could you please ensure you marshal, probably not for the 1500 distance events, but at least 10 minutes or so, 3 or 4 heats ahead of when you're meant to be taking part, so our marshals at the top end can get you all slotted in. There are no withdrawals, so I'm not sure if we have reserves this morning. I'll just check through the start sheet in front of me. No, there are no reserves, so if we do have an empty lane, it will be because the swimmer hasn't appeared for that particular event this morning. Those of you joining us on the live stream, I should have introduced myself. I'm Robert Taylor, and with me this morning is Wendy Kirk from Mulgine Bearsden. Wendy's been doing some announcing at the districts for a wee while, so nice to have Wendy with me this morning. We're scheduled to have 6 swimmers in our first heat. So it's good that we've got fairly full heat for the first event. Nice to get some distance events at these events now. Next event after that is girls 200 breast and a boys 200 breast. We then go into backstroke, girls and boys, and we finish with butterfly 50 metres. And again, that will be girls and boys. That event, as I say, for the 50s will be at the top end, just in front of where I'm announcing, with the finish at the bottom. So I'm not sure if our swimmers should be making way over to the starting positions. I think they're just getting chased up now. And we should be underway in a moment or so. So swimmers from 6 different clubs taking part in the very first event. So swimmers will just be checking with their officials to make sure that they're in the right lane, and the officials have the correct swimmer taking part. So all 6 look to be there or thereabouts. I'll just introduce the swimmers. In lane 2 we have Scott Watson from East Kilbride. In 3, Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries. 4 is Eva Gordon from City of Glasgow. In 5, Stefan Ustax from Stranraer Stingrays. In 6, Blake Herman from Inverclyde. And 7, Jack Keevan, Red 96. Referee. So 30 lengths ahead of them. You will see when they come down to the first 50, the lap targets I was mentioning a wee bit earlier. Those will go down sequentially by 2. And one thing that our officials at the other end will look out for is when that lap card comes down to 3, they will be aware that the bell will be coming out for the swimmer when they come down the other end for the last 2 laps for the 100. That just reminds the swimmer that 2 more laps and that's the end of their swim. Now, a nice start in our lane from Stefan Ustax from Stranraer. Blake Herman just on his shoulder. So those 2 boys have just pulled away from the rest at this early stage. Important just to settle into a nice steady rhythm. You don't want to go out really fast, otherwise you'll suffer. Both boys almost together, turning 1:12.97 and 1:13.18. Jack turning 3rd, about 5 seconds further back. And over on the far side, Eva, Lauren and Scott. So the entry times that these swimmers are in for the very first event range from 21, just over 21 and a half minutes, up to just under 23, 22:51. So these may be times that they've done at districts and been converted to long course, or it might be a time that has been taken during a time trial at their clubs for the entry. So Blake just maybe about half a metre ahead of Stephens. Swimmers, I did mention that you need to turn up for the marshalling area. I know it's about 20 minutes before you'll get underway, but could the swimmers for our second heat make their way now down to the marshalling area to help the 2 ladies ensure that they've got the swimmers in place? Thank you. So Blake and Stefan's well clear, as you can see on the live stream. Pictures that we see, I think they're just turning now, having completed 250 metres. Give you an indication of roughly pace and a likely finish time very shortly. And the rest of the field getting to that 250 mark now. Two boys on the outside lanes, Jack and Scott, very much together for third and fourth. The two girls, Eva and Lauren, just a little bit further back. And it's still Blake just maybe increasing that advantage a little bit as we reach the 300 mark. And he's pacing round about 82nd pace, 3:51.07.
Okay, so just giving Robert a wee bit of a break there. And we have in our lane 6, which is Blake, starting just to take a little bit more of an advantage over Stefan there next to him. But it's been really good that these boys have been able to pace one another. Always helps in a long distance when you've got somebody just beside you, pushing you and giving you that pace mark. And that was Blake just turning first there. Stephen has picked up the pace, faster 50 there. So he's obviously getting a bit annoyed in the fact that he's fallen back to second there and wants to keep up with his the guy beside him. Blake in lane 6. But both of these boys are doing well in terms of pacing. And then just back behind, we've got the two other boys. Scott there out in lane 2. Just slightly ahead, but we have also in Eva there, Eva Gordon in lane 4, taking a little bit more of a lead over her teammate Lauren from Glasgow City, or City of Glasgow. Oh, this is good. Scott's really starting to pick up the pace here and stretching out. I think this will be a faster 50 that he will be able to have pulled off here as well. We'll see on that turn. Yep. 42.73 there, so he's definitely starting to pick up the pace. With the Ren 96 Jack over in lane 7. But Eva Gordon was having none of that and has started to pull back up. I think she's enjoying having these two boys to pace with. So really nothing in there in terms of Scott and Eva, with Jack in lane 7. 3 of them there managing to sort of keep up with one another. Meanwhile, we have further down, the lead is extended out there, with lane 6, Blake, pulling a little bit further away from Stevens there in lane 5, from Inverclyde. And Blake's there managing to get a 39. He was just averaging around a 40 there in terms of his pacing for 50s, so he's starting to increase his lead. And I think at this point he's now thinking this is his own race to have, so he's going to have to keep his own pacing. But and I'm just going to get from Robert where he's tracking. So he's just pacing just under 20 minutes, so about 19:50, which will be a good advantage then on his entry time of 22. So if he can keep this up, then he's going to be pleased with that time. But this will give the Stranraer Stefan in lane 5 something to aim for. If he can pull that back. Stefan was coming in as a 21.32, so on paper he has got a faster time than Blake in lane 6. So if he can push on then, he would be coming in the same sort of 20 minutes, I would imagine, for his finishing there. And meanwhile, back in the race for Second and third, we have Eva and Scott helping one another out here. Not much in it, so if they can keep pacing ahead with one another, they're just pulling away from Jake in lane 7. Bit harder for Jake. It's going to be harder for him to see what's happening on the other side of the pool, just as those two move into a little bit more of a lead over him. Yeah, cool. And that's Eva just coming up here. We'll see what she's doing. So Eva there with a 43, so slightly slower than what she's been generally doing in her 50s, but she got a better turn there, and that'll give her a little bit of confidence over Scott. Certainly looks like a little bit more of a relaxed stroke there. So she's getting into the swing of her pacing there, with Scott trying to keep up in lane 2.
So we're getting towards halfway mark, and Blake has a really commanding lead now, pacing sort of just under 80 and just over 80 seconds. In fact, pace has actually dropped a little bit further on that last couple of hundred. Was pacing a little bit inside 20 minutes. It's now a little bit over the 20-minute mark. That last 100 was just over 81 seconds. The one before was almost 81 seconds, where he had been pacing just very close to 80, give or take the odd 100 here and there. Stefan's still well clear in second. However, it's nice strong second half of the race developing for Eva Gordon here. She's pulled her way into third. One of two 12-year-olds in this. Eva's 12 this year, as is Jack in lane 7. The other swimmers all either 13 now or will turn 13 during this year. So we're looking for a split somewhere around about 10:34. Well, pace has actually dropped down a little bit now at 82. So Blake had been pacing a little bit inside 20, but it's gone the other side of 20. Well, these youngsters won't get much practice at doing 1500s at the moment, so very much a learning curve for all these swimmers today. Just make sure they try and get a nice steady pace and work consistently through each section. They might split it up into 500s, they might split it up into 300s. And important in the second half, just to try and keep that steady pace going throughout. Not much between Eva and Scott. Third place. Jack turning now in 5th. And Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries coming in to turn in 6th place. She's now just completed 800. Those of you who are looking at the scoreboard, you'll see reds and greens. You see that Blake 41.56 for that last 50, and it turns green if he turns at the next 50 that little bit faster. That was a 41.28.50. So depending on how they pace, it either goes red or green. That's the rationale. So at 900, 11.58.64 for Blake, and pace significantly slower now. We're pacing well over 20 minutes.
Yes, Robert, I think 13 was Blake's lucky number there. I saw him just start to pick up the pace there. And he's kept the stroke count going much better, so he's definitely starting to increase things there. That was a nice 41.10. So he's going to continue to drive the pace. If he can keep this up, then he's back on for a really good time and PB on this event. So back we have the battle between Eva and Scott. It's funny, every time Eva pushes off and gets that turn, she just pushes ahead, but then Scott's determination and grit in the mid area of the pool just pulls him back up to Eva and level peg there. So yep, Scott just needs to look at his turns, and he would then be able to sort of push over and make a little bit more of an advantage there over Eva, but she's certainly getting that every turn. And then back in lane 5, we have Steffens from Stranraer continuing to put up a good battle here in terms of getting his second place. Just turning there, but is slowing down, so he is going to have to start to think about this last 10 lengths. And if he wants to make that time in terms of his entry time, he's going to have to try and start to split at least a 42, pulling that back down to a 41 to make the time that I know he'll be wanting to try and achieve. So here we go again, Eva and Scott head to head. Eva just pulling up there. And so you can see, turn, good underwater work, just pulling away from Scott, and then just about the midway pull, Scott will catch up. But both of them there starting to, you can see Scott there actually putting in a little bit better of a time there with a 43 split. Evie's slowed up a little bit there with a 44. But back in lane 6, we have Blake there, 42. That was that split. Okay, so just in the pacing there, they're about pacing a 20:15. So still coming in a couple of seconds under their entry time there from Blake. But I think if Blake can get that determination back that he had in lane with 13 laps to go, then I know that he'll be wanting to try and push that under that 20 seconds. And back there, Eva is managing to hold a little bit more of a little bit more in front of Scott there coming into the turn, and she's definitely got a 42 pace there in her last 50, so starting to move ahead. I know Scott won't like that, so he'll be looking to try and keep up. 43 there just on that last one, 43.20. I always like the green and the red, it really tells you what's happening and who to watch in the pool. So everybody's starting to pick up as they're going into, well, we have Blake here just in lane 6, moving into his last 100. Starting to look a little bit tired in his stroke, but this is when you dig deep. He was getting down to that 42 split, which is good, almost into that 41 that he needs to now achieve in this last 100. And that's lane 5. Steffens just turning there for his last 100 as well. 44, so is needing to try and get that back to about 41, 43, 42 in order to try and make his entry time, the 21. We have Blake, 42. Does he have it in him for his last 3 lengths to get down to a 41 split and make up on this time?
So just a little bit over 200 to go for Blake. Has actually been just dropping the pace a fraction this last 200-300 metres, pacing roughly about 20 minutes 20, but he is in an entry time of just over 22 minutes, so it's still going to be a cracking time for Blake. 17:32.22 with 200 to go. It's been pretty steady, 83s, 84s now. Obviously feeling a little bit of the pain barrier in that last few hundred. but you'd expect to try and kick on now. You'll see the 3 at the far end. Stefan's just turned, he's on to his last 200. And Eva has pulled away quite well in third place. She's going really nicely now.
Yeah, this is excellent pacing from Eva, isn't it? She's just pulling up there.
Pacing, yeah. And over the far side, Scott in 4th. Jack in 5th and Lauren in 6th. Well, Blake has now lapped Jack, who's in 5th. And the bell will be ringing very, very shortly for Blake. Here we go. As he approaches the flag. On to the final 100. You'll be glad to hear that bell ringing. 18:57.71. So I'm sure he'll be inside that 2020 mark. Can he get close to 2015? Stephens also will be hearing the bell very shortly. And the Shanlar boy comes in and he's got 100 to go. Lauren Dunlop has turned, she's on to her final 200. Down at the far end, Blake turns with 50 to go. So really obviously in a lot of pain, getting through that pain barrier at 42.63. Can he finish really strongly and do something sub 40? A big ask for him to do that and get under 2020, but it's still a cracking swim from the young lad from Inverclyde. Scott hears the bell over in lane 2. I'll keep an eye on the clock. It's going to be probably just a fraction over the 2020, but nevertheless, well done to Blake. And you can see from our screen just what it means to him to finish 22.41. That's a nice improvement by around about 1 minute 40 seconds. Stephens comes in. He's about to finish his race. And Eva hears the bell. Well done, Stephens. 20:51.04. So a nice improvement by around about 40 seconds for the boy from Stranraer. Eva Gordon is about to finish her race. Eva's entry time 21:31.5. It's going to be there or thereabouts. Just a little bit inside that, so good to get about a 10-second improvement for Eva. Finishing in 21:22.2. Scott Watson from East Kilbride, 22:31 entry time. He'll have a nice PB when he hits the wall. 21:40.83. Best part of 50-second or so improvement there. Well done, Scott. And here comes Jack to complete his race. 21:56.39, almost a full minute inside that 22:51, around 55 seconds. And our final swimmer is the Dumfries swimmer for Lauren Dunlop. 22:13.08. So well done, everyone. Looks like we have a full house for our second heat. So that result, I think, just confirmed now by our officials. Well done, everyone. You can now go and get a nice swim down to the bottom end pool and get a little recovery from that swim. Well done. Okay, just about ready to go underway with our second heat. Just waiting for our people above us just to confirm that result and move on. I think we're good to go now.
And we're off to the second heat of this. We're all girls in this one. Sorry, no, all girls and one boy in lane 9. So I'll just introduce the swimmers. Lane 0, Caitlin Morton from City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Amy Rowan from City of Glasgow. Lane 2, Ava Ross, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Amber Hinton, Dumfries. Lane 4, Finlay Hiddleston from Dumfries. Lane 5, Fraser Gemmell from Grangemouth. Lane 6, Abigail Crawford from City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Lisa McNair from Grangemouth. And Lane 8, Davy Gilday from City of Glasgow. And Lane 9, Andrew Patterson for City of Glasgow. And apologies, that was much more of a mix of girls and boys than I first thought. So we've jumped up an age group here in terms of 13 and 14. So we've got a mix of 13 and 14s in the pool. And most entry times were coming in just around that 20-second mark. So that's what each of these swimmers will be looking to try and beat. We've got one swimmer in here from lane 4, Finlay Hiddleston from Dumfries, who's under that 20 mark. So turning first, we have Fraser Gemmell with a 37, a couple of seconds ahead of everybody already. So he's going out with conviction. Just in lane 5 there. So that's Finlay Hiddleston from Dumfries. Fraser Gemmell from Grangemouth. His entry time was just on that 20.02, so he'll definitely be looking to try and smash that. So as he just turns here as well, yep, he's done better there as well. He's definitely going very fast out on this event, 36.72. Next to him was Finlay Hiddleston, his entry time was under that 20 at 38.50. Everybody else just pacing back around that 40-second split. And I think we have a bunch of swimmers really in the top end of that, lane 2, 3 and 4, all finding their stride with one another beside one another. But just on that lane 5, we have Finlay again with a 38.50. He's not let up in his splits there. Let's see if he can keep this going throughout the whole 30 lengths. He's definitely pulled out, so he's going to make this his swim certainly for the next few lengths ahead of him, with everybody. So, and just over that second 100, that was just over 75 seconds. So if he can keep this up, he's definitely going to have a great heat in this one. Be very pleased. So in the pace that he's doing, he should be closing up in a 3:39, just in lane 5 there. It's great to see somebody going out from Grangemouth here in the lane 5 with such a good lead ahead of him. And then just behind him, so we just see what he's finished up here. So that's lane 5. Fraser just Just slowing down a little bit on that 50, but nothing much. Still a 38.75 and finishing there for a 340. So okay, so in the middle, or looking at the sort of second in the middle of the lane, we have just beside him was Finlay Hiddleston, still just a little bit ahead. Of Amber Hinton in lane 3 there from Dumfries, who I know enjoys long distance. So just turning there. And the green comes up on the board with 1, 2 and 3 there, so all having a good 50 there going up the pool. So Finlay Hiddleston there was a 39, and just behind Finlay was Amber Hinton there as a 39.6. So both of these swimmers now are starting to pull ahead. I know Amber Hinton will be enjoying having Finlay just ahead of her to try and keep the pace up. But Fraser in lane 5 is still making sure that his 50 splits are under that 40. 39.5 there. So that's a 37.9 there for Fraser. So he's picked up that second, or that 50 here. He is definitely getting into stride though, holding a good lead. And then just behind him we have Fraser Hiddleston just turning there, but with Amber Hinton just chasing him behind. So those two will be doing well if they just keep up. Finlay still at that 39 seconds, so holding just below that 40. Amber just being over that 40.6 in third. But if she can keep up and use Finlay well in the pool here, she'll be doing exceptionally well. Fraser Gemmell there just still managing to keep under 40-second split time, which is amazing. It's brilliant. 39.8. Getting into stride for the middle of the event, but we'll find out from Robert what he might be tracking.
Yeah, Wendy, he was tracking a little bit under 19 minutes, but the last couple of hundred it's just gone a bit above 19 now. Tracking somewhere in sort of mid-19, 15 range here. As Wendy's mentioned, just the pace has dropped slightly from sort of 75 for the third 100 or so to 76, now sort of pacing 77, 77 and a half. So we'd expect him to come in at this next split somewhere round about the 7:33 mark. Clock showing 7:20 at the moment. So as we approach 600 metres, he's almost 20 seconds clear of Fraser. Finlay Hiddleston rather. So 32.33. So just picked the pace up a fraction to a low 77 rather than a high 77 split for that last 100. Finlay Hiddleston just trying to pull away from Amber Hinton. Second and third. Lisa McNair in lane 7, just ahead of Daisy Gildee, fourth and fifth. And over on the far side, Amy Rowell, also going quite well in lane 1. So their leader, some 25-30 metres clear at this moment. Coming down towards the 700 mark. Expect a time somewhere close to 8:50. That's what we would expect if the pace is around the 77 mark. And it pretty well is, 8:49.51. So I think we've settled now into the sort of 77-ish pace. Coming into second, Finlay Hiddleston, and Amber Hinton will turn third very shortly. So the target really for Fraser is just to try and keep this nice steady pace that he's got going in the last couple 100 metres. See if he can just pick it up a fraction to get under 19 minutes. We're pacing a little bit over 19 minutes at the moment. Fraser has an entry time of 20:02.75, so pacing about a minute inside that entry time. Finlay's about 5 seconds or so clear in second. So the halfway mark for Fraser was 9:28.50. So literally if you double that and add a few seconds on, because you go the first 100 a little bit faster than the rest, which would, as I say, suggest a finish time just over 19 minutes. We've turned at 800 on 10:07.49. And that's been the slowest we've seen so far, almost 78 seconds there, just inside 87. Sorry, 78 rather. So we're now pacing, getting to the 19 teens again. Lisa McNair, Amy Rowell and Daisy Goldie, all pretty close, 4th, 5th and 6th. It's the Grangemouth lass in lane 6 and 7 rather, just in 4th position. Andrew Patterson in lane 9's turned in 7th. Eva Ross in lane 2 turning in 8th position. Abigail Crawford in 6 is 9th, and Caitlin Morton turning in 10th place over in the far lane from us in lane 0. Well, 900 metres gone, 11:24.89. So pace just a little bit faster that last one, around about 77.5. So unless Fraser really picks it up in the final third, we would expect him to be a little bit over the 19-minute mark. Finlay still just easing further and further away, ever so slightly, from Amber. They're well clear of the rest. Lisa McNair a few seconds ahead of Amy Rowell and Daisy Goldie, who are almost together in 5th and 6th. So almost 2/3 of the race gone. Pass you over to Wendy to finish proceedings. Just get the final split here for Fraser as we reach 2/3. It's 12:44.14. So that significantly slower there, Wendy. 79 and a quarter. So we're now pacing pretty close to 19:20.
Thanks, Robert. Yeah, I'm just going to take a wee look at the battle that Lisa and McNair and Daisy Goldie have been having there. They've been pushing one another, but Lisa, just in the last 100 mark, has been pushing forward, just pulling out a little bit more of a lead. Has been managing to pull away out in front. Over in lane 1, we have Amy Rowell, though, swimming her own race. It'll be harder for her to see the girls across the pool. But she's pacing with a colleague from Glasgow City there, Daisy. So if she can see her, she's probably been pulling up on there. But these three girls have been having a really good battle for that sort of third, fourth position in the heat. But Fraser's definitely been keeping a really good split time. I don't think he's once gone over that 40 seconds. He's picking up the pace again with that last split being 37. This one last just turned with 39, but still below that 40 mark. So we have in lane 1 there again, just going back to the girls. We have Amy there just managing to try and catch up a little bit there with Lisa, which is good. And then in the middle for that second, third, we have Eva Ross having to swim her own race there, but doing very effectively. And that's Fraser just switching things on here, picking up the pace with a 37 in his last 50. So knows he's not got far to go. So his last 100 was 76 and a half, so we'll see where this putting him. So with 300 now still to go with Fraser. Yeah, he's just, that's the first time I've seen a 40 in the board for a split. So interesting is when they're going up the pool. And this end, everyone seems to be going faster than coming back down the pool. So we'll see what if he's able to get that pulled back under again from that 42nd. That's Lisa still managing to extend her lead here in lane 7 over Daisy. But Amy, as I had pointed out there, is in lane 1. Is pushing forward over our colleague Daisy over in lane 8 and starting to fight over with Lisa McNair there. No, I think Daisy there just pulling off in the turn, managing to push forward. Yeah, Daisy there just managing to pick up the pace again under a 40 seconds, so 39.53. So Fraser just turning there, still managing to keep it under a 39. If he can keep his steady pace going. Hopefully he hasn't gone out too fast at the start. Lots of green on the boards. With Lisa McNair there getting a 40.69. Amy though also doing the same sort of pace over in lane 1 with a 40.65. Ava slowing up at her pace there in lane 2 with a 43. So Amy and Lisa will be able to make a little bit of pace on her. So Fraser might be starting to feel a little bit of that early start he took. Last 100 was a little bit slower than we've been seeing for him, so hopefully he can dig in and look forward to that bell ringing. There we go, Fraser. Last 100. What have you got? So back up under the 40, 38.93, sorry, 98. He's looking at finishing around a 19.10, which is still a really good time for him in terms of being under that 20 that he was looking for. So he's just got to make sure he's got everything in it for this last 50 as he turns in to finish up. And that's in lane 4, we hear the bell. So that's Finlay entering into his last 100. With a lovely swim from Ava Ross in lane 2. Sorry. Sorry, that was Amber Hinton there. And that's Lisa and Amy Rowell, as well as Daisy, just finishing up for their last 100. It'll be really interesting to see what these girls are able to do in the last 100. That was Fraser just coming in there in lane 5, a brilliant swim. Managed to get a 35 sprint, Fraser, in your last 50. Finishing there is a 19:06. That's really good. So you'll be pleased with that under your 22nd, but I would suggest if you got a 35 in your last 50, you had a little bit more in the tank there. And just coming in there, that was finishing second, Finlay Hiddleston with a 19.39. Well done, boys. Great swim with you both. And last of the bell over there in the outside lane in lane 0, but coming in with a sprint finish with Amber Hinton. Well done, Amber. Finishing up there with a 19.58, again under that 20 seconds. Fantastic swim. And fighting there in for the 4th place, we have Lisa just holding on. Great finish there from Amy Rowell. With Daisy just behind Amy, the 20.15. All of these times, though, coming in with their entry times, so it means it was worth it in the pool. With lane 9 just coming up to finish up. Andrew Patterson finishing there with a 20.42. Again, big improvement on a 20 entry point of 21.12. Well done, that makes it finishing. We've got our 1, 2 and 3. We'll just wait for that to be confirmed by the officials. But all 1, 2 and 3 under that 19 minutes. That's it, confirmed by the referees. So first Fraser Gemmell, second Finlay Hiddleston, and third Amber Hinton. Well done all 3.
So last heat underway in lane 1. Nikolai Cisnet from City of Glasgow. 1. Evie Mackey from Lanark. 2. Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow. 3. Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. 4 is Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde. 5. Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. Daniel Henry, City of Glasgow. 7. Cooper Schloss, North Ayrshire. 8. Finlay Bennett, Rutherglen, and 9, Emma Binney, North Ayrshire. So mostly lads in this one, but we have a couple of girls. Evie Mackey from Lanark in lane 1, and Emma Binney, North Ayrshire, in lane number 9. All the swimmers taking part are 14 this year, with the exception of Nikolai Cisnet in lane 0, and lane 2 and Machin, both City of Glasgow swimmers, they're both 13 this year. So Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde, 1:05.04. Off to a nice strong start. Times in this one range from 18:31, that's Archie. He's only won sub 19 up to 19:42. Next fastest swimmer in lane 5, Kyle Connolly, 19:15. Interested to see what Kyle does. Does a lot of distance events and has done as a youngster. His teammate Daniel Henry in lane 6 is in second place. Evie Mackey, who will relish these distance events, going nicely in lane 1. I'll take a wee note of the split at 7:50, as I wonder if she's been primed to swim a negative split as she did last time when she did an 800 here at the short course. I think she did something like a 9:38 that day. So Archie off to a nice strong start, 2:17.64. So we'd probably expect a more steady pace with the splits in this one. The last two heats are a little bit up and down, as these swimmers in those early heats probably don't get that much practice of swimming a distance event and trying to get a nice steady pace throughout.
Just while Robert's getting what the guys are all tracking at, this is all these swimmers are all entering under the 19, apart from Archie, who's actually entered as an 18, so he will be wanting to hold that lead out. But as Robert said, this is very much one of Evie Mackey's long distance events, so she'll be wanting to push up and give Archie a run for his money, I'm sure. Over in lane 6, we've also got Abigail Crawford. Sorry, lane 6, we've got Cooper Sloss from North Ayrshire as well. No. Daniel Henry, sorry, in lane 6 from City of Glasgow coming through there too. Let's see, Robert, if you've got some of the tracking there.
At the moment, we're probably somewhere around about 18:15. Just the splits for you, Wendy. Obviously, we'll ignore the first one, but second 100, 72.6, third one, 73.54. So fourth one, we'd hopefully get somewhere around about the 73.5, if that's now actually getting settled into race pace. As Wendy said, it'll be interesting to see if Evie Mackey can overhaul Daniel Henry. There's not much between those two, second and third, with Kyle a wee bit further back. Wendy in fourth.
Yeah. Glasgow City here, we've got 3 of their swimmers just behind, so Daniel there just turning. So 38.30 there. But not far behind is Evie Mackey. And actually a faster split there with 37.25 than she's just done.
Yeah, Archie just a little bit slower that last 100, Wendy. Just under 74 seconds. Pacing somewhere in the 18 teens at the moment. I'm sure it'll settle pretty well into that rhythm over the next couple of 100 metres. It's a nice wee contest behind there with Evie and Daniel.
And then just looking at further back in the pool here in 7 and 8, we've got Sloss Cooper and Bentley Finlay there. I think just in the last 25 or last 50 there, we've got Sloss just taking a little bit more of a stretch there on his next door neighbour. Finlay Bennett there. Over in lane 0, we've got Glasgow as well, Nikolai Siscott's also pacing out there with his colleague Aaron Machen. With Aaron just touching there. What were the splits on that, Robert?
Well, that last one virtually bang on 74 for Archie. So again, it looks as though he's got himself into a nice steady rhythm. after we've gone just roughly a third of the race. And there's almost a race within a race here. The two 13-year-olds, Wendy, Aaron and Nikolai, both 13. It's Aaron with maybe about 15 metres advantage, Wendy.
Yeah, but making this race his own is Archie MacArthur. I always enjoy watching Arthur's butterfly, but this is giving us a little bit of a masterclass in the 1500 here. Just going another 37.818 with a good split there in the green. And then Evie and Daniel, nothing in it there in terms of turning. We have Evie, though, doing a faster split there than Daniel, so is looking to try and push ahead.
Getting interesting for that second place now. Archie's pace just dropped that wee bit, Wendy. That last 100, 74.5. So I want to just try and pick it up again. Getting pretty well towards halfway. And not much between Evie and Daniel there. It's roles reversed again. You see on the scoreboard, Daniel has gone green, 37.59. Evie gone red, 38.36.
I always look at the pool, Robert, and think, can they see one another? Because this will be an interesting battle between Evie and Daniel. Evie, they just taking a little bit more of a stretch out, coming down the pool just to come in and turn over Daniel. And she will be able to see him, I would imagine, just turning first there, I think. Evie just had that. Nothing much in it though, Robert.
Not really, no. Evie's gone green again, 37.60. Daniel's gone red, 38.64. We'll see whether swimming uphill or downhill makes any effect. Always think that you're going away from the pool, you're swimming uphill, but it's not the case, is it, Wendy?
No, that's halfway mark there for Archie. 36.88. Loving this swim.
So we'll see how Archie's going. He's just to pick that last 100 was a wee bit faster, so fingers crossed he's just got back to sort of 73 and a bit. So just keeping an eye over on that far side to make sure he's doing what he's meant to be doing. Somewhere around 9:40ish, 9:40, 95. Yeah, and very much mid-73s or so. Pacing still in that 18 teens range. Evie Mackey just beginning to pull away, Wendy, from Daniel, so that race still there for third place. Kel Connell a little bit further back and forth.
Yeah, I thought that same. I thought Evie was coming down, but actually Evie manages to come down the pool faster than Daniel, but Daniel pulls up, going up. So he's caught up, and it's much of a muchness again between them both. And then behind that, you've got the two Glasgow City boys. You get Aaron there, and in lane 5 there, you've got Kyle pacing one another. I'm sure they'll be able to see one another in the pool, and will be well aware of their normal paces. Being training together, I'm sure. But yep, here comes Evie again, pulling away as she comes down this end. And then Daniel doesn't like that and pulls back. So let's see what Archie did there in that last one, Robert.
Well, again, that split exactly the same, 73.83 as it was the last 100. So he's virtually getting it pretty well to clockwork now, pacing certainly inside that 18-20 mark, 18 teens. I did take a little note of Evie Mackey's split at halfway, 9:19.59. So I'll be interested to see if she finishes on an 18:38.
And if she does, that is an amazing swim.
Well, that will be a negative split if she does that, Wendy. That's why I took a wee note See how she's going, but she's really going very strongly in the second half, Wendy, as you can see.
She is.
You're capturing, if you're watching us on that live stream, she's turned, and you see Daniel Henry turning in third, and Kyle Connolly in fourth place. But at the head of affairs, it's still the lad from Inverclyde, well clear.
Yeah, that was the first time there that Evie held her lead against Daniel on the way up the pool, and she's always been being able to get an advantage coming back down, so she's now stretching out. This is the first time I think we're seeing Evie now stretch out on Daniel. So one for the girls here. Well done, Evie.
Yeah, great to see Evie Mackey performing very well again today. Very good distance swimmer.
But there you go, there comes Daniel.
and just talking about distance events, those of you who are here and on the live stream, just confirming that the West District Open Water taking place on the Saturday 29th of July at Loch Venacar, a couple of weeks earlier than last year, so please, all of you, put that date in the diary. It'll be a fun event. Please come along if you can. We have another confirmed one, our friends in the East. Sunday the 4th of June, that's the day after our West District AGM. So those of you who are really into the open water, and maybe something that those of you who aren't would like to try, they used to also do some fun events. They do some 200, so put that one also in the diary. Sunday the 4th of June, that's at Lacor Meadow over in Fife.
So that was Archie just coming in there with another 36, and previously another 36 there. So he's definitely starting to pick up the pace. If this is the way he's been pacing this 1500, it is an excellent swim. So if he's able to keep that up, just turning again there for another 36.
Well, it's nice steady pacing, Wendy, from Archie. Still in the sort of high 73s, but it's been pretty well 18, 17 finish. I'm sure it'll be a little bit faster than that as he picks up in the latter stages of the race. Evie Mackey has really gone well clear now in second place, but 7 seconds clear of Daniel Henry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see between the Glasgow City boys there whether or not Aaron and Kyle.
I'm looking over at the other side, and Karen's got the stopwatches out, getting the movements, just encouraging our wee girl to just keep this going. Doing a really good job over on that far side. 14-year-old from Lanark now turning with 300 to go in just under 15 minutes. She's pacing around about 76-ish.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice wee battle going on in here between Kyle and Aaron. With Aaron just getting a faster split there, but Kyle just edging ahead. And on paper, yeah, Kyle's entry was a 1950 and Aaron was a 1921. So 1915 and 1921, absolutely nothing in it with these boys. They'll be aware of that. That's another 36 for Archie. Well done, Coach Archie, over in Inverclyde. Consistently keeping that 36 split. But look at Evie Mackey now over in lane 1. Really stretching ahead there. Has left the boys behind. And has increased her split time there. Nice 37.48.
Well, I'm expecting Evie Mackey to finish somewhere around about 18:45-ish.
That'll be a full second off her entry time. Yeah. She'll be very happy with that.
And that will be a cracking swim, another negative split. So Really takes a bit of talent to be able to do that.
And she doesn't look tired at all, does she? She looks well in control. Lovely stroke, lovely pace, and quick off the turn. Really good.
Archie now coming in, and the bell will be good news for him. Archie having a very solid swim again today, 17:02.43. Let's see if he can get inside 18:15. I'm almost certain he'll do that. We can see him really getting to work in this final stretch.
And meanwhile, that's Aaron and Kyle absolutely neck to neck, with Daniel, just pushing ahead and remaining in third place in this heat, but nothing between the other two Glasgow City boys. Okay, Archie, last 50. Let's see what you can do in this last 50.
Evie Mackey still getting plenty of encouragement from the squad over there. Three of the girls from Lanark giving her plenty of encouragement. But here comes Archie to finish off his race, storming at the final finish. Well inside the 18:15 mark. Well done, Archie. 18:13.13. Nice improvement by around 18 seconds. That's a big drop from that 18:31. So well done, Archie.
Excellent swims there, Archie. And now we're coming up for Evie. She's still got lots of power there, lots of support bringing her in. This is going to be a fantastic swim from her. Finishing up there with an 18:41.
Don't know what they're feeding that girl over in Lanark, but what a cracking swim from the youngster from Lanark. I don't know how she does these negative splits, but she seems to do it all the time these days. Well done.
And well done, Daniel, as well, coming in there with an 18:54. Another great PB for you as well.
Well done to Daniel in third place there. We will get breakdowns in age groups for these swimmers at some point, probably in the next 5 minutes or so. I'm not quite sure what's happened with did Aaron drop out?
I was just thinking exactly the same. I was thinking we were missing somebody, so yeah, we must. It
would kind of suggest that Aaron Machin seems to drop out, maybe not feeling well yet. Sadly at 1400.
And that's lane 9 just finishing up there, Emma Binney, with a 20:08.
So we'll just wait for them to confirm that, Wendy, but I would think there'll be a disqualification, technical infraction with lane 2. We have that indeed, so sadly youngster from City Glasgow not feeling all that well towards the end and having to drop out.
Yeah, real shame there. He was having a good swim.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly Aaron looked as though he was going to be well inside that 19-minute mark.
But that's it, confirmed. We have Archie MacArthur with that excellent 18.13, Evie Mackey 18.41, and Daniel Henry third for 18.54. All three under that 19-minute mark. Congratulations.
Yeah, all good psychologically to get under 19 minutes if you haven't done it before.
Okay, so we're off to the 200s. This is the girls' 11:14 200-metre breaststroke. Lane 1, we've got Sophie Haining from Bells Hill. Lane 1, Christina Grubb from City of Glasgow. Lane 2, Erin Lockley from Stranraer. Lane 3, Katja Wilson from Bells Hill. Lane 4, Eva Kay, East Kilbride. Lane 5, Emily Hickley from East Kilbride. Lane 6, Grace Blair, Falkirk. Lane 7, Ava Steele, Falkirk. Lane 8, Kavya Sherty from Wren 96. And lane 9, Hannah McMillan from North Ayrshire. Okay, first 50, we have Katja in lane 3, Katja Wilson with a 43.88. All of these girls are coming in 13 and 14, actually all girls 14 apart from, what am I saying? Outside, we've got Sophia and Hannah, the younger two swimmers here, lane 0 and 9, age 12. So they're keeping up with the pack, which is great to see. All other swimmers have got a mix of 13 and 14s. So lane 3, Katja just keeping her nice lead there from Bells Hill. Coming in for the last 5 meters. Do we have a sprint? Well done, just finishing there with a 1:35. Or not, sorry, not finishing there, finishing the first 100. And then second into her was just beside her was Erin, the 1:38 there in her 100. Need another cup of coffee coming off the 1500 straight into a 200. Okay, so we also have in lane 7 there, Ava Steele pushing ahead as well. She's, now I've got a new TV here that's going to help me with my finishes. It's a long distance up there in a 50 metre. So I think we've got, lane Ava just in lane 7, taken ahead of Katja, very close though in the turn. So as they're coming down to finish up here, we have also looking to try and catch up is in lane 6, coming up with a good strong sprint there. Lane 6, Grace, just beside Ava. Grace is pushing through here. Can she push through? But I think over in lane 3, we've got Katja Wilson managing to hold on to that initial lead. But we've got the 2 girls in here from Falkirk. Grace Blair and Ava Steele. I think Grace might just be pushing against for second. But good finish there from Katja. And yes, second was Grace. And then Ava Steele for third. So that was Katja there getting 3:17. She'll be delighted with that. Entry time was a 3:22. So a really good PB there on that 200. We'll just wait for that to get confirmed. Unfortunately, lane 6, we have a disqualification for a technical infraction, so that will change the scoreboards. So we have in first place Katja Wilson, second place Ava Steele, and third place Emily Hickey.
Second hit in 0. Amy McCready, Bells Hill Sharks 1. Ciara Finlayson, City of Glasgow 2. Ruby McInnes, North Ayrshire 3. Lula Milne, City of Glasgow 4. Honor McCarty, Inverclyde 5. Abigail Fagan, Wren 96. In 6, Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow 7. Amy Dobson, Kingston 8. Isadora Holmes, Mulgine Bearsden, and 9. Iona Lynn from Scotia. Most of these girls 13, a couple of 14-year-olds in 0 and 1, Amy and Kira, and one 12-year-old in lane 3, that's Luna Milne. Times range from 3:13 to 3:20. So it's the fastest in this second heat. Honor McCarty with the touch at 50, 41.36. Got a nice 2.5 second advantage. And consistent with Inverclyde, produced very good breaststrokers, and you can see how well Honor is doing at this early stage. Well clear of the rest. Also going well, Ruby McInnes in lane 2, and in the outside lane to where we are, Iona Lynn, well there. Abigail Fagan in 5, not far behind the halfway mark. Clear leader, Honor McCarty, 1:28.11 by over 4 seconds now. Ruby McInnes in second. Abigail Fagan just third. Over the far side, Amy and Kira pretty well together, and on this opposite side, Iona Lynn. The rest of the girls a little bit further back. As we get further and further through the race, Honor McCarty going well clear. We'll probably finish just a little bit over that 3-minute mark, but it's going to be a big improvement. 2:16.01. So let's see if she can finish somewhere around the 3:03 mark. Abigail in second. Ruby still well clear of the girls in lanes 1 and 2. In third place, Iona Lynn. Can she finish strongly in lane 9 and pip Ruby for that third place? Abigail Fagan looks pretty certain for second, and no doubt about her winner of the second heat, Honor McCarty. 3:13.10 entry time. Shatters that by best part of 10 seconds. 3:03.24. Lovely swim from Honor there. Second place, another good swim from Abigail Fagan from round 96, and she's managed to hold on to third place down the final stretch. Ruby McInnes 3:18.21, very much on her entry time, the North Ayrshire swimmer. Abigail also improves her time by a good virtually on her entry time rather. Honours really go in that one to Honor with a super 10-second or so improvement. 3:03.24, 3:15.17 Abigail, and Ruby 3:18.21.
Okay, and on to the Heat 3, the last heat in this event. We have in lane 0, Molly Irvin Watson from Dumfries. Lane 1, Lisa McNair from Grangemouth. Lane 2, Ailey Monrose from Inverclyde. Lane 3, Katie Gills from Renfrew Bass. Lane 4, Ava Ross from City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Davy McInnes from City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Cara White from Ren 96. Lane 7, Ella Cunningham from City of Glasgow. Lane 8, Olivia Russell from Cumbernauld. And lane 9, Orla Ross from Mulgai and Bearsden. So all 14-year-olds in this heat. And they will all be chasing under that 3 minutes. Or a critical time is the 3:01. I know all these girls will be looking for their snags times. That's the 3:01 is the qualification time. So a lot of people there are able to try and get that from this. In the middle of the pool, we've got the 2 Glasgow City girls, as well as the Ren 96 Cara White. So lane 4, 5 and 6, it's Ava Ross, Daisy McInnes and Cara White that look as though they're going to be the ones that are competing in here, with Molly Irvin Watson Always somebody to watch in the outside lane. So just coming up to the split time for the first 100. We have Cara White, I think, just touching there. Yes, Cara White with a 1:25. That was 3 seconds quicker than the heat before. But getting chased well by the two Glasgow City girls, Daisy McNinnis and Ava Ross. Daisy there just ahead of our colleague, Katie Gillis. Sorry, Ava Ross. Molly over there, Molly Irvin, just keeping up though in the outside lane, so one to always make sure that we're keeping an eye on. But Cara's really pushing ahead here. Won't be able to get that critical turn onto our last 50. 44.26 split. With Daisy just beside her. And then in third was Ava Ross with Molly Irvin on the outside. However, Molly's starting to come through there. Cara definitely keeping her lead position. As Cara's coming down, I think that's Molly now pulled away from the two Glasgow City girls. Can Molly give Cara a wee run for her money in the last 5 minutes? I don't think she's got enough, so this is definitely going to be Cara's event. Cara White just touching there with a 2:56. Brilliant time there, brilliant PB. And then next to her was Davy McNinnis, 3 minutes 32. And then Molly Irvin Watson getting the third with a 3:01 for third place there. Just get that confirmed. Yep, all confirmed there. We've got Cara White, 2:56. Second, Davy McNinnis, 3 minutes 32, and Molly Irvin Watson, 3:01.45. Well done, girls. Okay, we swap over to the boys. This is the first heat of 3 again. We've got 3 boys. And we've got in lane 3, Samuel McEwen, Cumbernauld, Finlay Morris from Inverclyde, and Morton Rommix from Wren 96 in lane 5. While we're waiting here, we've got the results of that 1500. So first results for the girls 12 and under is Eva Gordon. Yeah. And then 13-year-old Amber Hilton from Dumfries in first, Amy Rowell from Glasgow City in second, and Daisy Gilday, third, Glasgow City. Girls 14-year-olds, Evie Mackey with that awesome swim from Larnac, Emma Binney, second, North Ayrshire, and Lisa McNair from Grangemouth in third place. On to the boys, 12-year-olds, we have Jack Kelvingham from Wren 96. 13-year-olds, Nikolai Sisnet from Glasgow City, Blake Herdman in second from Inverclyde, and Andrew Patterson from Glasgow City. And the 14-year-olds, we have Arthie McArcher for Inverclyde as first, Daniel McHenry from Glasgow City in second, and Kyle Connell from Glasgow City in third. And back to the pool. So, Finlay Morris just touching ahead in lane 4 from Martin Rommix with a 50.33 split. So it looks like these boys are going to be able to push one another in the last 100. Nothing much in them. So Finlay Morris, let's see all 3 boys. So we've got 2 13s. So Finlay Morris is a 13-year-old, Romus Morton in lane 5, is 13 also, and Samuel McEwen is our 12-year-old. Thank you. Over in lane 3. So doing well from a 12-year-old point of view, keeping up with the 213s. But just touching there, taking a little bit more of a lead was Finlay Morris with a faster 50 there, so he's getting into stride for his last 50. So what does Romex Martin? Does he have it in it to keep up? But it looks like Finlay's planned this well, paced it really well. He's really extended his lead. He's got his eye on that wall. I can see him, his determination. So this is going to be his race. So he is chasing a 3:29. So he's going to be well within that. This is going to be an excellent swim for him. Looking to take at least 15 seconds on his PB. Great swim there, well done. Finishing there with a 13:14. His entry time is a 3:29, so brilliant swim. And there, Romex Martin as well. Getting another 9 seconds off his entry time, congratulations. And our younger swimmer there, Samuel McEwen, finishing up again with a really strong PB there too. So that's it confirmed. Finlay Morris first, Romex Martin, sorry. And on to the second heat. Lane 0, Conor McKnight from Grangemouth. Lane 1, Luke Todd from Grangemouth. Lane 2, Ava Dorlan from Wren 96. Lane 3, Carrick Thompson from Inverclyde. Lane 4, Riley Griffin from Airdrie and Monklands. Lane 5, Adam Merrick from Cumbernauld. Lane 6, Ewan Nielsen from Cumbernauld. Lane 7, Nicola Sinnott from Glasgow City. Lane 9, Logan Moffat from Kirkintilloch. Lane 9, Rhys McMillan from Renfrew Baths. Now some of these boys will have already done a 1500, so bear that in mind when we're looking at the 200 breast. But first to turn there, we have Riley Griffin over in lane 4. So from Adrian Monklands, but very close to him is in lane 6. Ewan Nielsen from Cumbernauld. He's got his colleague in the middle there. From Cumbernauld, we've also got Adam Merrick. So those 3 boys in the middle here pushing out. But Riley Griffin there from Adrian Monklands is keeping his initial lead, coming to turn in the first 100, halfway mark. Getting pushed nicely though by Ewan Nielsen. So Riley Griffin in lane 4, Ewan Nielsen in lane 6 second, and just between them his colleague, teammate Adam Merrick from Cumbernauld. Now it looks to me there that Cumbernauld swimmers just picked up the pace a little bit there. In lane 6. We'll see if this last 50 was a little bit faster, but I think he is edging on Riley Griffin there. Let's see who turns first for that first place to come down into their last 50. Gosh, 2:15 each, dead heat. This is going to get exciting here. So Ewan was there picking up the pace in terms of the last 50, but both boys finishing dead on first place to turn. So it looks like we have in lane 4, we've got Riley Griffin just edging ahead, but nothing much in it. It's between Riley and Ewan. Riley's just getting a couple of strokes ahead. This is going to be Riley's event. Just a slightly longer stroke there is getting his advantage. Go Riley. Yep, nice finish there with a 3:04, but great swim there from Ewan. Coming in second with a 3:06. Both boys getting a good PB there. And third place was Adam Merrick, teammate in Cumbernauld, with a 3:15. And that's it confirmed. Riley Griffin first, Ewan Nelson second, and Adam Merrick third place. Okay, last heat for the boys. Always enjoy when George is swimming. It's lane 0, George Zawinski, so hopefully I got that right. Lane 1, Joe Crawford from Scotia. Lane 2, Clark Mackingill from Inverclyde. Lane 3, Aaron Mackin from Glasgow City. Machen from Glasgow City. Lane 4, Lachlan Small from Stirling. Lane 5, Kyle Connolly from City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Fraser van der Millen from from Stirling Swim. Lane 7, Daniel Henry from Glasgow City. Lane 8, Ryan Crab from Ren 96. And Lane 9, Kenneth Triler from East Kilbride. All boys 14 apart from Ryan in line 8, and we have another 13-year-old Aaron who also has done his 1500 there in lane 3. But taking a good strong sort of lead there in lane 4. We have Lochan Small from Stirling Swim. Teammate Fraser chasing him in lane 6. Just turning there with a first 100, a 1:16. But only a couple of seconds behind him is Fraser for second. And then in between we've got Kyle with a 1:22 there. So 2 Stirling Swim boys, Fraser and Lochan. I've seen both these boys compete quite often, and I know that they both don't like to lose, so they'll both be wanting to push the boundaries here. Lochan just keeping that edge, and is going to be turning here first over Fraser. Yep, that was Lochan with a split there of 43.15. Fraser just behind with a 43.87. Only person there was Kyle in the middle, managing to pick up the pace of that last 50. But that's Lachlan managing to pull ahead here over Fraser, his teammate, getting a nice convincing lead. Lachlan is chasing a 2:49 as his entry time. He's going to be well within that in lane 4. But let's watch out for Kyle here. Kyle's just trying to pick up the pace here and get Fraser, but yep, no, excellent finish there, Lachlan. 2:45, a good 4 seconds below your your entry time. And then Fraser for second with a 2:51, and Kyle Connell with a 2:53 for 1, 2 and 3.
Nice wee improvement there, Wendy. A few seconds for Lachlan. Thanks for holding the fort there while I was just checking some results just below us. I think you've got some results which we'll be able to give the public in a moment.
Yeah, we'll do this quite quickly. We've got the girls 11 to 12, 200 breaststroke. For the 11 to 12s, it's first Luna Milne from Glasgow, second Hannah McMillan from North Ayrshire, and third Sophie Hannon from Bellshill. And while they're just continuing to put the back starts out, we've got the 13-year-olds. That was Honor McCarty from first of Inverclyde, second Abigail Fagan from Ren 96, third Ruby McGuinness from North Ayrshire. And then the girls 14, first was Cara White, Ren 96, second Davy McInnes from Glasgow City, and third was Molly Irvin Watson from Dumfries.
Well, it's those dreaded backstroke ledges our officials sometimes struggle a wee bit with. So fingers crossed we'll have no hiccups and we'll get underway very shortly, ladies. 6 heats, I think, Wendy.
We do, yes. Popularity in backstroke.
So a couple of 11-year-olds in this one. We have Lola Milne in lane 1 from City Glasgow. 2, Megan Ferris, Cumbernauld. In 3, Isha Lavelle, Ren 96. 4, Ella Russo from Renfrew Baths. 5, Rose Gourley, Ren 96. 6, Hannah Jimison, East Kilbride. 7, Christina Grubb from City Glasgow. And 8, Elsa Chan from East Kilbride. She's one of the 2 11-year-olds. Megan Ferris in lane 2, another 11-year-old. Of course, they're probably 10 at this early part of the year. Birthdays will be this year. And our early leader is lane 5, Rose Gourley, 38.75. Pretty well with her. In lane 4 is Ella Russo. It might just be Isla coming through. So Renfrew Bass and Ren 96, but finishing like a train. In lane number 2 from Cumbernauld is 11-year-old Megan Ferris. And she's really storming to take this one. Very tight for second. But the Cumbernauld youngster is going to take this by maybe a body length. Entry time of 1:24.60. It's going to be well inside that. So she takes that. Lane 4, I think, just Ella Russo ahead of Rose Gourley. It was by 600s. Yeah. A nice swim from Megan, 1:21.14. And in the middle lanes, Ella Russo, 1:22.60. Rose Gourley, 1:22.73 in third place.
Okay, heat 2, we have in lane 0, Honor McCarty from Inverclyde. Lane 1, Abigail Fagan from Ren 96. Lane 2, Charlotte Craig, Ren 96. Lane 3, Rebecca Mallon from Bells Hill. Lane 4, Ruby McGuinness from North Ayrshire. Lane 5, Imogen Sabres from Lanark. Lane 6, Charlotte McGavin from Hamilton. Lane 7, Lucy McFadden from Kintyre. Lane 8, Emily McGuire from North Ayrshire. And lane 9, Sarah McGuffey from Kilmarnock. On to just turning for that first 50. We have Ruby McGuinness in lane 4. Second in lane 7, Lucy McFadden. But all girls doing really well here, keeping up, not much in it. And this is a mix of 12 and 13-year-olds in this heat. All coming in very similar, much in a muchness in a 1, 2, 3 entry times. I think we have lane 4, Ruby just holding out on her lead there. And again, Lucy in lane 7. Actually, no, it looks like second is just Lucy, but we've also got in lane 2 and 3. So that was Ruby McInnes in lane 4, just holding on to that first place. Lucy McFadden in second. And a good battle there for third and fourth, but Rebecca Malling just got it there with a 1:23.20. That's it confirmed. Ruby McGuinness first, Lucy McFadden second, and Rebecca Malin in third.
Our 38. 0. Erin Lockery from Stranraer Stingrays. 1. Imogen Lavelle, Ren 96. 2. Sophie Stark, Mulgine-Bearsden. 3. Ava Steele, Falkirk Otter. 4. Ellie Hall, Mulgine-Bearsden. 5. Ava Service, Dumfries. 6. Lucy Taylor, Lanark. 7. Abby McMillan, City Glasgow. 8. Lauren Dunlop, Dumfries. And 9. Amy McCready, Bellshill Sharks. 121s through to 122s on entry times. So get an idea who's the leader. It might be lane 6, Lucy Taylor. Also well there, Ava Service. And in lane 3 and 4, Ava Steele in lane 3, 38.98, just ahead of Ava Service, 39.01 and 39.42, Lucy Taylor. A late charge. Abigail McMillan in lane 7, coming through very strongly indeed in the second half. She might just be forging ahead. It's getting tight over on that far side. Sophie Stark is getting pretty close to second place, but no doubt Abby McMillan surging through to take this. It's very tight for second place. Lane 3 and 5, I think. Oh, it's how you finish. It was actually Ava Service who got that arm out a bit better to take second place ahead of Sophie Stark. Ava Steele not maybe getting that arm in the right position. We'll get that confirmed, the minor places. Abby McMillan takes that 1:19.64. Ava Service 1:22.08. Ava Steele 1:22.09. It was tight for that second and third place. Well, we said it earlier, teething problems with these mechanisms sometimes. But don't worry, we've got the expert. Ross Stewart is on hand. And as always, we couldn't do without him.
And just while we're waiting there, I've got some results that we'll share. The 11 to 12 200 metre boys. 12-year-old was first Luke Todd, and then second
Thanks,
was...
Ross.
And then... I'll come back to those results in a minute, but this is Heat 4. So in lane 0, we have Emily Taylor from Lanark. We have 1, Ava Pettigrew in Cumbernauld. Lane 2, Iona Hickson from Mulgine-Bearsden. Lane 3, Sophie Brown, Glasgow City. Lane 4, Imogen Barrett from Ren 96. Lane 5, Olivia Caldwell from Glasgow City. Lane 6, Daisy Kelly from Dumfries. Lane 7, Caitlin Morton from Glasgow City. Lane 8, Carly Black from Dumfries. And Lane 9, Orla Ross, Mulgine-Bearsden. So on the turn, we have 2 girls battling it out head to head from Imogen Barrett and Olivia Caldwell. Lane 4 and 6. With Imogen, I think, just getting a little bit of a lead in there to come back down, but threatening over is in lane 1. We have Ava Pettigrew from Cumbernauld pushing through. So is it Ava or is it Imogen? I think Imogen's just there, and next to her is Olivia Caldwell in lane 5. Imogen's going to get this. Sorry, that was, Imogen just for first, then Olivia Caldwell second, and third was Sophie Brown in lane 3. Imogen there coming in with a 1:17, our entry time is a 1:19. So good PB, she'll be happy with that. All results then confirmed. So that is Imogen for Imogen Barron, number 1, and Olivia Caldwell, number 2, and Sophie Brown, number 3. As we go over to Robert for Heat 5. Robert's going to take the last heat. I'm going to do this one as well. So in lane, this is heat 5. In lane 0, we've got Emily Dawson, Mulgine Bearsden. Lane 1, Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow. Lane 2, Neve Brooks, East Kilbride. Lane 3, Emma Binning, North Ayrshire. Lane 4, Amble Hilton, Dumfries. No show, lane 5. Lane 6, Molly Irvin Watson, Dumfries. Lane 7, Abby Henderson in Rutherglen. And lane 8, Ciara Finnislin, City of Glasgow. Anna Campbell in lane 9 for City of Glasgow. All these girls coming in around a 117, 118. They'll be chasing a 114. If you're 14 and under, that's the snags entry time. So I know all the girls will be using this event for their long distance time. It's the first time they've had a 50-metre pull for the 100 back. All doing well, but Anna Campbell in lane 9 just got that touch in the first 50. Coming in though, it's really tight. Got lane 4, Amber Hinton, I think just edging out, but we've also got Emily Dawson doing a good swim over there from Mulgine Bearsden in lane 0. And Anna Campbell, this race is on the outside of the pool. Can Emily keep up? No, we've got Anna Campbell there just finishing first. In the centre there, I'm sure that was Anna, yes, board has just been amended there. We had Anna Campbell finishing first, then Amber Hilton finishing second. And in lane 7, I think that was Abby Henderson. We'll just get this confirmed. Anna Campbell for first place, Amber Hinton for second, and Ciara Finnislin with a 118.26 for third place. Well done, girls.
Just while they're getting out, I'll run through the swimmers in this one. In 0, Daisy Goldie, City of Glasgow. Teammate in 1, Eva Gordon, and teammate in 2, Gina Wren. 3 is Casey Dixon from Rutherglen. Carrying on, 4, Chloe Kirk from Mulgine Bearsden. 5, Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. 6, Molly Binning, Ren 96. 7 is Lisa McNair, Grangemouth. 8, Ava Ross, City Glasgow, empty lane in 9. Well, fairly level start. Lane 5, Abigail Crawford. Chloe Kirk in 4, going well. And also a nice start from Gina Wren in lane 2. Those 3 just heading the field. We also have Casey Dixon, useful backstroke swimmer from Rutherglen, also in the mix. But it is Chloe Kirk in the middle lane, just with a slight advantage, 34.91 from Casey Dixon. And the other side of Chloe, Abigail Crawford also coming through. It's very tight, halfway down the final stretch. Chloe Kirk, but Casey Dixon on her shoulder. Gina Wren not out of it. It's Casey Dixon who looks the stronger. It's the Rutherglen swimmer just forging ahead. The 13-year-old has got this time perfectly. Second place looks to be Abigail Crawford. Tight for third. It's Casey, Abigail, and Gina Wren snatches third ahead of Chloe Kirk. Cracking swim from Casey Dixon. Just got that time perfectly. 1:13.48. Very much on her entry time. It's not about the times in this one for the girls. It's getting that 1-2-3. Abigail Crawford, 1:14.13. Gina Wren snatches third, 1:14.62. Well, I think Chloe Kirk will be the third position of 14-year-olds as Casey Dixon, 13-year-old, storms to take that. Well done, Casey. It's the boys' turn now. 5 heats. This is heat number 1. Just 3 scheduled to go in this.
Okay, and over to the boys. We have 3 contenders here. Lane 3, Kieran Naismith, Bells Hill. Lane 4, Strawn Henry, Dumfries. And lane 5, Callan Chesser in Glasgow City. All 3 boys are 12. all getting a good start there. And their entry time is all the same. 129.6, 129.2, and 129.4. So they're all going to be trying to push one another. And just coming up, I think we have in lane 5, just touching first, Callan Chester. Nope, it was Struan Henry in lane 4, just got that. Not sure actually. I think lane 5 just needed a bit more of a stronger touch there. So all three very, very lined. I think we've managed to get in lane 3. Callan Chester still managing to keep just an edge on the Dumfries and City Glasgow boys. Just coming into the last edge. Let's get those heads back, guys. Oh, and into the last 5 meters, we actually have in the middle there, we've got Henry Struan that's going to touch first. And then second was Kieran Naismith, and third was Callan Chester. All 3 confirmed. Just going to get back to those results for the 11 to 12 breaststroke, 200 metres. 12-year-old was Luke Todd from Grangemouth as first. Samuel McEwen was second, Cumbernauld. Into the 13-year-olds, we've got Ryan Krabby from Ren 96, Finlay Morris from Inverclyde as second, and Nikolai Sisnet from Glasgow City in third. 14-year-old boys was Lachlan Small from Stirling Swim, Fraser van der Merlen from Stirling Swim second, and Kyle Connell, Glasgow City third.
Just jump in, Wendy. We're just waiting for confirmation of that last heat. And as expected, it's qualification technical infraction in lane 2. So slightly amended results. Struan 126.52, Callan 128.27. Heat 2, 0. Aidan Mooney, City Glasgow 1. Martin Romies from Ren 96 2. Cole McCluskey, Kilmarnock 3. Rhys McMillan, Renfrew Bass 4. Brodie Lydon, Kingston 5. Finlay Maurice, Inverclyde 6. Jack Keevahan, Ren 96 7. Logan Muffet, Kirkintilloch and Kilsyth and 9. Rory Stevenson, Falkirk Otter. 122 to 129 is the range in this one. Well, all over pool trying to pick one out. It might just be lane 2 and lane 7, Logan Muffet and Cole McCluskey. No, I got it totally wrong. Brodie Lydon in lane number 4, 40-13 ahead of Logan Muffet and Cole McCluskey. So Brodie in that middle lane, still going well. Another 2 lads that I did mention, Logan Muffet in lane 7, coming through very strongly now. The Kirkintilloch swimmer, I think it's maybe just going to take this one at the moment, the way things are going. Inside the final 10 metres. Logan looks good to take this one. Very close for second. I think Brodie and Cole will finish second and third. And no doubt about the winner. Logan takes that. It's going to be Cole in second place and Brodie third. Good swims, lads. And Logan takes that 122.37. Cole 124.65. Brodie 125.17. So a nice wee improvement in Logan's time there by a few seconds. But difficult to judge on the entry times, short course to long course when I've never done long course events for most of these lads in the early heats. So that result now confirmed. Heat number 3.
Yeah. Heat 3. Lane 0, Andrew Patterson, Glasgow City. Lane 1, Gerard Gunter, Glasgow City. Lane 3, Samuel Young, North Ayrshire. Lane 4, that was Lane 2, Samuel Young, North Ayrshire. Lane 3, Cameron Mather, Inverclyde. Lane 4, Ali Hatton, Dumfries. No show, Lane 5. Lane 6, Ollie Jeffords, Ren 96. Lane 7, Finlay Hiddleston, Dumfries. Lane 8, Callan Zoot in Bells Hill. And Lane 9, Zachary Dormer in Falkirk. We have one 12-year-old swimming here, Zachary in Lane 9. The rest of the boys are a mix of 13 and 14s, the majority 14s. Turning first there was Ali Attap in Lane 4. But just beside him is Cameron Mather, who's actually looks as though he's taken a little bit more of a lead over him just in this last 50. Coming down in Lane 3 is Cameron Mathen. Catherine Gerard in Lane 1. It's going to be a fight in there for, I think, third place with Gerard and Samuel, but for first and second here, it's between Cameron and Ali. Ali just coming back there over Cameron, both getting a 118.30 and a 118.74. Third place actually was Finlay Hiddleston in Lane 7 with a 119.66. And that's just confirmed. Ali Hatton, first place. Cameron Mathen with a 118.74 for second. And Finlay Hiddleston, 119.66 for third.
Just jump back, Wendy, to that 1500 earlier this morning. I did think that Evie Mackey had done a negative split. It wasn't quite. Heat 4, 0, Kaelin Cardy, Stirling Swim. 1, Murray Johnston, Ren 96. 2, George Zuvaniski from Stranraer Stingrays. 3, Clark Maitland-Gill, Inverclyde. 4, Blake Herdman, also Inverclyde, empty Lane 5. Stefan Neustax from Stranraer Stingrays. And 6, 7, Carrick Thompson from Inverclyde. 8, Murray Callan, Larkhall Avondale. And 9, Aaron Russell, Bellshill Sharks. Well, it's the orange cap of Stranraer, Stefan Neustax going particularly well. Also up there, Blake Herdman. Virtually nothing between them 800s, just advantage with Blake. Hopefully he's recovered from that 1500 and certainly going well down the final stretch. Coming through Murray Johnston in Lane 1 to try and challenge Clark Maitland-Gill in Lane 3 for minor places. Aaron Russell in Lane 9. The Bellshill swimmer coming through with a late charge. Who's going to take this? I think it's Blake Herdman still with the advantage in Lane 4. Blake's going to take this. Very tight for second though. Blake takes this in Lane 9, and in Lane 1 are our runners up on third place. Aaron Russell takes second, and Murray Johnston third. Blake Herdman 1:15.81 from Lane 4. Lane 9, Aaron Russell 1:16.64, and Murray Johnston in Lane 1 1:17.36 is our third place in our fourth heat as we move on to our fifth and final heat.
And final heat, we have in lane 0, Dean Binney from North Ayrshire, lane 1, Daniel Henry from Glasgow City, lane 2, Fraser Gemmell from Grangemouth, lane 3, Fraser Vandermeulen from Stirling Swim, lane 4, Ethan Collins from Bellhill, lane 5, Nicola Cisnet from Glasgow City, lane 6, Kyle Mossman from Glasgow City, lane 7, Max Miller, Weston Bartonshire, lane 8, Kyle Connell from Glasgow City, and lane 9, Cole Murphy from Glasgow City. All boys 14 in this last event, or last heat. And turning first there is Ethan Collins. Very close to him is Nicola Cisnet. And sorry, Nicola is actually 13, so swimming up against the 14-year-olds. But with a good stride down here, getting a good lead, is just in lane 4 there, Ethan Collins. Ethan Collins is coming through, so it's going to be a fight for the second. In between Ethan, we've got Fraser just to the other side of him against Nikolai. And Nikolai, I think, is just going to get on the touch. Yes, Nikolai just got second there on that touch with a 108.7. And Fraser a 108.94 for third. All three boys, though, getting well within the snags qualifying time, the 112.30, so well done. Just getting that confirmed. That's first for Ethan Collins, second for Nikolai Cisnet, and Fraser Vandermeulen third as your 1, 2, and 3. And as we pass over to Robert, we swap over to the girls and on to the butterfly.
So with the last two events, the 50s, as we said earlier, all starting at the top end of the pool. We'll hopefully try and get the result for you on this live stream, and for the rest of you over the far side as accurately as we can. Lanes 2 to 6, Ellie Meir, Rebecca Mealing, Lise Newstead, Megan Ferris, Imogen Sievers. Nice strong start in lane number 5, Megan Ferris. Did a good swim earlier on and still going well on this one. Lise Newstead coming through to challenge. So it's the Adrian Monklands swimmer just coming through to challenge the girl from Cumbernauld. So it's the North Lanarkshire contest in this one. Elise and Megan, it's very tight between the two. Who's going to get the touch? I think Elise is just going to get there. Elise takes that. Megan in second. Third place. Oh, it might have been in lane 6. Wait for that confirmation. It was lane 6. So winner of that was lane number 4. Lise Newstead, 35.29, 36.40 for Megan. And Imogen Sievers, 38.73 in third.
Heat 2, lane 0, Charlotte McGivern, lane 1, Rosie Gurley, lane 2, Emily Taylor, lane 3, Iona Hickson, lane 4, No Show, lane 5, Alex Shepherd, lane 6, Neve Scott, lane 7, Sophie Stark, lane 8, Orfler Jeffrey, and lane 9, Kafa Shetty. Clear start there, and really good start there from lane 5, which is Alex Shepherd. Alex Shepherd's going to get this, I think, and so in second place. Looking as though it's lane 7. Sophie Stark's having a good swim. Just coming through there, but on the outside as well, we've got lane 3, Iona Hickson. So yeah, good start there. That looks like it was Alex Shepherd, lane 5. Second was actually Orth Jeffries. And third there, I think, was Iona Hickson. Yep, just get that confirmed. That is Alex Shepherd is first, Jeffrey Orthlin is second, and Iona Hickson for third place in your 1, 2 and 3.
Heat 3, empty lanes in 0 and 9, so 1 to 8. Lula Milne, Ava Pettigrew, Ruby McInnes, Imogen Barrett, Daisy McInnes, Amber Hinton, Isadora Holmes and Charlotte Craig. That's advantage in lane 5. Daisy McInnes, I think, just with a slight advantage going well in 4. Imogen Barrett, and in 2, Ava Pettigrew coming into the final 10 metres. Advantage still with Daisy in lane 5. Daisy going to take this, very tight for second. Daisy takes this, Imogen second. And in lane 6, Amber Hinton finishes third. Daisy McInnes, 33.06. Imogen Barrett, 34.66. Amber Hinton, 35.12. Well done, girls. Move on to heat number 4.
Final heat, lane 1, Ciara Finson, lane 2, Cara White, lane 3, Emily Dawson, lane 4, Evie Mackey, lane 5, Gina Wren, lane 6, Abigail Crawford, lane 7, Molly Irvin Watson, lane 8, Olivia Russell, and lane 9, Anna Campbell. So in the centre of the pool, good starts there from lane 4, 5 and 6. I think lane 4, Evie Mackey, I think might just be coming in, just with her colleague, or Gina Wren just beside her. Yeah, it was Evie Mackey. She can sprint and do long distance. And then Gina Wren in lane 5, second, 30.93. And third was just beside her, Abigail Crawford. Just get that confirmed. Evie Mackey with a 30.40. Gina Wren with a 30.93. And Abigail Crawford in third for your 1, 2 and 3 in that final heat. On to the boys.
We'll bring you some result very shortly once we complete our last event. 3 heats of boys 50 butterfly. Good luck, lads. Ollie just getting himself organised, and when we're good to go. Three, Oliver McIlwraith, Cumbernauld. 4, Sam Curry, North Ayrshire. 5, Ollie Jeffers, Ren 96. Not much between them, but advantage with Sam in the middle lane, but Oliver's coming through strongly. It's Oliver just shading it at the halfway down the final 20 metres. It's nip and tuck, Sam and Oliver. Nothing between them, with Ollie a little bit further back. Coming into the final stretch, Sam just, I think, maybe getting ahead into the final 10 metres. Sam Curry just ahead of Oliver McIlwraith on the touch. Oh, wow, how close can you get? 100s, boys, cracking race. Sam Curry, 35.46, 35.47. Ollie, 38.21. Right, guys, heat 2, replicate that, please. Good luck.
Lane 1, Cole McCluskey. Lane 2, Nicholas Kent. Lane 3, Kaelin Cardy. Lane 4, Kenneth Traynor. Lane 5, Rylan Griffin. Lane 4, Brodie Linden. Lane 7, Murray Johnston. And Lane 8, Rory Stevenson. Mixture of 13 and 14-year-old here. All looking very tight. I think lane 5, we've got Griffin, Riley Griffin just coming through. Next to him though, in lane 6 is just about to touch, I think there. Yep, Brodie Lydon just got that in the touch just beside Riley Griffin for second, and third was Kenneth Traylor. All pulling in great PBs there. Couple of seconds off on the top boys there. Just get that confirmed. Lane. So we're just waiting for that to be confirmed. And unfortunately, lane 1 was a disqualification there for a technical infraction.
Final heat just about to get underway. Cooper Schloss, Clark Maitland-Gill, Adam Merrick, Lachlan Small, Ethan Collins, Kyle Mossman, Max Miller, Finlay Hiddleston, Murray Callan and Callum Struick are 10 lads in our final heat. Good luck, lads.
I think that's the scores coming through there just to get that final heat confirmed. Here we go. So that was Brodie Linden for first place, 34.14, Riley Griffin, 34.8, and Kenneth Traynor, 35.10 for your 1, 2, and 3. And on to the final heat of the boys.
So Ethan Collins in lane number 4, fastest into this one, and he's off to a nice strong start already when earlier on in that backstroke. I think done a good time. It's still advantage with the Bellsill lad. Either side of him, Kyle Mossman and Lachlan Small in 3, but Ethan's going to double up this one. Ethan Collins is going to just hold on to take this from Kyle Mossman. Ethan Collins, Kyle Mossman, Lachlan Small, that's a 1, 2, 3, and he did get under the 30-second mark. Well done, Ethan, 29.98. Getting pushed all the way. Kyle Mossman, another good swim, 30.52 in second place. Good improvement on that entry time. And also improvement for Lachlan Small in his entry time to take third in 31.03. So that's it for the morning, Wendy, finishing just around 11 o'clock. We're back here at 11:45. Thanks for joining us if you've been with us on the live stream. So from Wendy Kirk and myself, Robert Taylor, please come back in about 40 minutes, get yourself off, get a roll, bacon roll or something, and a cup of coffee, and we'll see you shortly.
Okay, and just before we finish up, we'll just get some results out as well. We have the 11 to 12 100 backstroke girls. First was Evie.